all major metropolitan areas in the region have to have a long-range transportation plan that allows them to access state and federal funds that are used to support the system. So like other places, we have to convene all of the users of the system, all the owners of the system, to develop a long-range plan that allows us to make decisions and allows the system to work together, because various pieces of the transportation system are owned by different entities, whether it be the state transportation department, public transit agencies, local governments. They all have a piece of the system, and it needs to work together, and our regional plan brings all those elements together.
All right, so let's look at this regional plan that is going to span through 2045, which is fairly ambitious. What kinds of things are you looking to put into this plan? Explain that.
Well, one of the reasons you have to do a long-range transportation plan are these investments are long-lived. So we need to make sure that we're making the wisest investment. Some of the things that goes into it are how many people are going to be in this region, how many jobs are going to be in this region, where are they going to be located. And one of the new things in our transportation plan this time is we're really starting to grapple with what does technology mean for people's mobility. And all the talk about autonomous and connected cars, what does a transportation system need to have so that we can take advantage of those opportunities?
It would seem that making a plan looking that far out would be pretty difficult or very challenging, because when you talk about autonomous vehicles, or you talk about where the jobs will be and people getting to jobs, and sometimes we talk about, man, we may not even know what the jobs of the future will be in the next 5 years. So, so how challenging is it to be able to do that kind of long-range planning?
Well, we want to hear from a lot of people. We've got a lot of technical experts at SEMCOG. We work with University of Michigan on our population and employment forecasting. So we've brought a lot of great minds into thinking about what does the long-term future look like. That said, we know that there are forecasts that go into it, and there is some uncertainty, and that we revisit this plan every 5 years.
And when you open it up to the public, what are you expecting to hear? I mean, this is going to be a process now over a year where you're going to start to want to hear feedback from people in the area.
Well, what we want to know from them is, first of all, what are their priorities? Should we be investing in pavement and bridges? Should we be investing in technology? Should we be investing in freight? Should we be investing in transit facilities? All of those kinds of things, we want to know what their priorities are. The other thing we want them to tell us is we've got a survey on our website where we want them to zoom in on a map and show us and point out the places where they experience problems, whether they be safety issues or congestion issues. Tell us what they experience on a day-to-day basis, because our region is large and we can't know every road in the region as well as the people who use it every day.
How long is this public comment section going to be open up for people?
Well, we've got a couple phases. The first is this survey that's going on right now, which is on our website. We are also going to be having a series of public meetings. So we're going to be in each of the counties. We have 7 counties in our region, talking to individuals who want to come to a meeting. We'll be sharing our data and information and getting their feedback on that. And then ultimately, as the plan comes together, we'll come out again with what we're seeing.
And the plan, you know, keeps kind of moving and shaping and shifting as things change in the region. What kind of changes have you think that you've seen maybe in the last 5 years in our region when it comes to transportation? Well,
one of the things, we've done a household travel survey. We know that more of the trips are not related to work, that people are traveling more, there's more errands and activities that people travel to. And we know that peak hours, it isn't so much about peak hour travel anymore, it's about all afternoon the roads are congestion, where it used to be just morning peak and afternoon.
Yeah, the rush hour time seems to be changing a little bit.
Absolutely. And we think people have more trips than they did in the past. And the other thing we're seeing in our region is an increasing use of bicycles and just walking for some trips.
So that'll be something that you'll be taking into consideration as well, how that piece fits into other vehicle transit.
And what are the investments we can do to support that?
All right, so once you finally get then a newly crafted plan, people will wonder, where does it go from here? What will we see coming out of that?
Well, that plan will guide the investment in the transportation system. So it will guide the investments that county road commissions make, that transit agencies make, that local governments make. It really provides the framework for those decisions and makes it possible for those dollars to come into our region to support this system that is so important, not only to our travel, but just to our basic economic prosperity. People need to be able to move around the region.